What's up guys, it's your boy DERELEEK, and today I'm gonna be trying something new. This is a video I'm calling 5 things that I learned from Ryan Higa, aka Nigahiga. There's no particular order. I had a list. It was obviously a lot longer than 5. What's after 5 again? Oh yeah, 5.1. But I just narrowed it down to make this quick and short and just kind of explain my experiences and share my my stories with you guys along the way. What it's like working with a top tier YouTuber. With that being said, I'm also going to share my life experiences with that on top of that, and hopefully it will relate back to you and this video can help you grow. If you're new here, my name is DERELEEK, and I'd like to say thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you'd like to support, you can click that subscribe or that like button down below and just enjoy this video. So let's get right into it. Number 1, have fun. This is like very important to me. Where do I begin? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You gotta have fun with whatever craft you're doing. I believe like having fun is like the passion that keeps you going with your craft. And if you're trying to get really good at your craft and you know that it could become a business, what is that famous line? When you're having fun, it's not work. I didn't make that up. I know, crazy, right? One thing that Ryan always did was that he had fun. One thing that I admired him for is that he always found fun throughout the entire process. Whether it was writing the script, filming the video, or even in post-production when you're editing the video. He just was always laughing constantly, and I believe that's very important. When I look at Ryan, I look at the man as a genius, 10 to 15 years deep in the game. You gotta respect that. You know, so anything you do that long can seem monotonous, can seem boring, but he was always trying to fix his rhythm, always trying to find like a new thing that excited him, and he always found happiness and fun along that way. He was making videos weekly, like that's like eating pizza every week, but he found fun through it. For me personally, if you don't know, I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for almost 18 years, probably 19 years or something like that. I also dance for the Jabberwockies. If you don't know, I do the show out here in Las Vegas, California. But back again, I've been eating the same pizza for forever, right? I find fun and happiness through this process of learning because I'm still learning. I don't know if this is a good one to start off with, but I think having fun is very important just because it literally separates you from other people. If you are just trying to robotically put out things to become a YouTuber, then it might show through your work. Other people might see it. If you're not having fun, then it might show. That's all I'm trying to say. So you gotta have fun. Number 2, I would say grind. That sounds kind of silly, but it's the most important thing. One thing that Ryan did great was he was always on to the next, which is very important. He was very good at that. Yeah, sure, writer's block happens, but he was prepared for things like that. He never kind of settled. He always wanted to top himself week after week, and I think that's I think that's crazy, but that's what geniuses are. He never settled. He just constantly wanted to make better and better content. And if I were to have to relate that back to myself, like I was always trying to make the next better move. I was always trying to make the next better combo. I was always trying to make the next better joke. So if you're trying to become a content creator or a YouTuber, what's your next video? If you make this video, you're happy with it, that's awesome. But what's after that? What's the next one? So you gotta constantly grind, especially in this long game, because you just never know. You never know what one's gonna be your next big hit, you know? I'm sure tons of celebrities and artists didn't have their best movies, their best records right off the bat. I'm sure they kept grinding and they kept producing and kept creating for the next. So I would say number 2, grind. That is very important, something that Ryan is very talented in. So that is something I definitely admire from Ryan. He just constantly goes, and that is a hard worker. So I respect that. I respect that. Put some name on that respect. Number 3, replicate and learn. It sounds weird, but it's really not. Let's start off with replicate. Now, replicating is basically copying someone or looking like someone, but in a way, if I were to break that down, we are students to the game. Whatever game or craft you're into, you don't just start off as a pro or professional. You start off as a student. Honestly, like when I started breaking, I just didn't start off head spinning and doing air flares. I had to grind and practice and do long hours of studio sessions and garage practices and battles to develop those skill sets. By practicing with friends, of course I was trying things that my friends were doing, and in return I was looking like my friends or the teachers that was teaching me. So I was replicating for a lot, and I believe that's you know, kind of a part of the process. You know, for example, if you have any craft and you look up to someone or you're inspired by someone, you're gonna watch their techniques, their videos, and you're gonna kind of wanna why did I say that like that? You're gonna subconsciously kind of replicate that in your own way. And there's only a certain level of skill set or years that you end up passing where you could break that and become yourself. And the reason why I think that's kind of weird to think about is because, like, for me, when I started breaking, yeah, I looked like the people that was teaching me, and I was doing moves and concepts and ideas that looked like them. After years of practicing and trial and error, I was eventually able to make my own style, and now I'm myself. Yeah, there's a replication process, but there's also a breaking barrier of who you become. I think that's important because that's finding yourself. One thing that I saw Ryan do was that he was able to replicate and learn on the fly. Whether it was a new trend, an old trend, he was able to replicate that trend so you understand what you're seeing, but then also he was able to flip it in his own voice or direction or joke or style that made it his own thing. And you can obviously see his content be the answer for that situation. Now, moving on to learning. One thing that I saw Ryan do great at was he was learning. And he wasn't just learning on YouTube, he was learning on every platform. And that is very important if you're trying to become a content creator. He was learning what to tweet, what not to tweet, what pictures work well with Instagram algorithm, what pictures don't, what content has good hashtags on YouTube, what content doesn't, what title works, what title doesn't. I mean, he was constantly learning, and that was something that, like, I admire a lot. Because if you don't learn and you don't apply, then there's an issue. He was just constantly learning, and I think that's very important because if you're doing the same thing every day, you're gonna get the same results and same answers. But if you are trying to flip it around and learn about this or that and apply that, then you might create something that you never even knew that you had in you. Number 4, problem solve. There was tons of things that I put on this list that I learned from Ryan. Obviously, the man is a freaking genius. One thing that I noticed when I hung out with them in the very beginning of our relationship was that he was a very great problem solver. And I believe that is very important with any craft that you do. For Ryan, he was able to problem solve and use what he had to his advantage to get his point across. To me, that was very important because problem solving to me is very important to me. I would say with me personally, I've had friends that get upset over really minute things that happen throughout the day. One thing that I noticed that made Ryan different was that his problem solving skill set was through the roof. He was able to fix a situation like this, and he did that on the fly, and the most I seen that was through film. When we were shooting a video, he was able to basically analyze and refix a situation on the fly in quickness. And the reason why I put that on the list is because it doesn't burn any time, and time is the most valuable thing that we all have. So I would say that problem solving is very important because one problem can stop a whole shoot, one problem can stop someone's entire day, one problem can sink a boat mentally. When it comes to term with my dancing, there could be a combo I can't finish, and I'm just like, well, what is it? What's the answer? And then I just sit there trying to think, but my time is now lost. But problem solving to me is very important just because I think that time is very important. So I think those two connect. And if you are solving issues quick, then you are saving more time to spend it somewhere else and benefit yourself. The last thing I would say is number 5, learn to fail. This sounds kind of crazy. When I watch more videos on self-growth and successfulness and character building and development, everyone embraces failure. And I think that's very important because you have to turn it around into your favor. A great quote that I could think of off the top of my head is from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Let your genius turn your fear into power. So meaning, if you're scared of something, flip it around and use that to your advantage, so that way you can become successful in what you want to do. I'm a firm believer that you have to embrace failure because pressure makes diamonds. For me personally, yes, learn to fail. Wow. For me, I have my own combos and moves that I do in the Jabba Show that get people to applaud. But there's also things that I want to try differently. And sometimes you gotta fall. So one time in the show, this is back in 2013, I had a solo in the show, and I'm the only one on the stage. I think it was like a 45-second to a minute solo. It doesn't sound that long, but when you got like a lot of people watching you, it can get a little scary. So I come out through this door, all this fog is coming out, I'm powering up, I believe in myself. The Jabberwocky character is evolving in the show, and I basically hit a power set. To give you a little backstory, I'm wearing some regular Diggy pants, a Jabberwocky t-shirt, and gloves, Kango hat, and a mask. So these gloves, and with the fog Pacific Ocean, is that what I'm trying to say? So my issue is with the gloves and the fog that it's coming out and the moisture that it creates on the stage. Sometimes it could be a little dangerous, but I was very confident this day. I think it's just because we had a packed house and I love doing this solo. So I come out, the set I would do is I do 10 air flares to 190, and then I put my feet down and I stand up and I kind of just Superman it while the music will fade down. And there's a usual spotlight that comes down on the main Jabberwocky. This particular day, I wanted to drill my 90 longer. Now, for those that don't know, a 90 is when you're in a handstand, but you're in a one-hand handstand and you're spinning on your hand, and you're just basically whipping your body around, kind of like a head spin, but you're on your palm of your hand. This day, the stage would not let me spin, and I took the risk of trying to get a longer spin, more of a combo and an eye catcher, like whoa, rather than taking the safe route by putting my feet down and Supermaning the situation out. So for me personally, I tried to spin, but the glove wouldn't let me. Yeah, the glove just wouldn't spin, and I got really stuck. So I end up like crumbling down, and I just like fell on my back, and I let the I let the fog just cover me. And I just let the music play out, and I was like under my mask, like, damn, I messed up. You gotta learn to fail, because now I know not to spin longer than that. I don't know why I shared that. Like I said, I've had more great shows than bad shows. I would say that I'm very consistent. That's one thing I pride myself in. Ryan and Jabberwockies can confirm that. Those are 5 things I would say that I learned from Ryan Higa, aka Nigahiga, with my little spin on it. Man, this was so much fun filming. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe or that like button, and comment below if you like for me to do another 5 things I learned from someone else, or 5 things I've learned from my life experience. But like I said, I had tons of fun, and that's the important thing. What I said, have fun on that list. See how it's full circle? Well, this is more of a heart, but you know what I mean. I forgot to mention, the other thing I learned from Ryan is how to say teehee at a really high pitch. Watch this. Pretty good, right? DERELEEK, my balls.